My name is Alekhya, and I'm one of the product managers here at BigChange, and I'm heading the data and insights team. So I chose to work at BigChange because of two main reasons. One is the company were okay to offer me that flexibility, which I needed with having two young children. Flexibility is kind of the key for me. And the second one is career progression as well. So I always wanted to progress as a product manager. And I have heard about the product that BigChange is working on and the opportunities that come with improving the product. I believe that if I work on a product that's growing, that'll help me grow at the same time as well. And yeah, it's just a perfect role for where I want to head towards in my career path as well. So the most exciting part of my role at Big Change is being able to speak to customers and understanding their problems, and also being able to do something about those problems. So within my role as a product manager, I'm empowered to resolve some of those customer problems through the product. That's more exciting to me as to how I can map those problems to some of the solutions that we're going to be building, and how to get more customers and how to make them more happier. So I've been given a number of opportunities to progress in my career. The first one is the access to BigChange University. So that's the entirety of how the product works in various different areas. So that was hugely helpful, especially with my remote onboarding, because in the initial few days you won't always know who to contact and who's the expert in what areas. But that BigChange University had made a huge difference. In addition to that, there's always some kind of learning activities that happen. Even the weekly huddle that the leadership run, there's so much to learn from there as well, just to be aware of the surrounding and aware of the business and the market, what the customers are saying. So that's all a huge learning opportunity. So the Big Change University was hugely helpful, especially because, as I mentioned before, with remote onboarding and stuff like that, it gave me a very good understanding of the product. When I'm talking to customers, having that overarching view of the product is really the key. So again, with the remote onboarding as well, it was so useful to have that, because if I know if I'm speaking to a customer and the customer is in this particular sector and this is what they do, I'd go back to Big Change University, try and understand, right, what could be potentially the kind of features that they may be using and they may be talking about. So it was really useful for me to have those initial conversations with customers as well. And it was a lot of time saved for myself, because I'm not really relying on somebody else to have some sessions with me to go through the product. I can do it all myself, do it whenever I want. I used to do like half of the day focus on work and another half of the day focus on BCU. So it was pretty flexible that way as well. Well, Big Change is big at giving back to the community. It's because in the initial few weeks I've joined, there's lots of charitable donations that get kept going on. I mean, we've recently done a food donation bank, and there was a massive response from the entire organization. And recently, I think Tanzi was one of our colleagues who's organized clothes donation as well, and that's gone down really well as well. One day I came to office last week and I've just noticed bags and bags of clothes lying everywhere. So I think that they're quite big on giving and sustainability. Certainly, yes. I did have two fears when I came into Big Change, or just about to take the role at Big Change. One was if they're going to be flexible and give me the time to spend with my kids when needed. Especially, my son started going to nursery when he was about a year old, and he started to get all kinds of nasty colds and coughs, and he was off ill a lot of time. He needed a lot of attention, and I needed to spend that time with him. So that was really important for me. Number two is in my previous role, although I had a lot of product manager sort of responsibilities, I was officially a delivery manager. And I didn't want to go back to doing what I was already doing. I wanted to excel in my career and progress. So another thing I was apprehensive about is, do I really have those learning opportunities here? And I'm glad that those apprehensions were kind of sorted out in the initial interview. And after the interview as well, my manager called me and said, absolutely, you get full flexibility. I'm happy for you to, do it whichever way, flexible hours, whichever way you think is it would work for you. And he was also really keen on developing my career path. So he was really keen on having those discussions with me to see where I want to go, where I see myself over the next 3 years, 5 years, etc. So that was massively helpful and massively promising as well. And yeah, I was excited to be here for those two reasons. The best thing to work for Big Change is the opportunities to grow. It really, again, it call come back comes back to opportunities. We're investing so much in our product. We're investing so much in our customers' feedback about the product. So what gets me really exciting is what can I do today that will make things different for us as a business and for us for our customers as well. So what can I do as a step one? So for me, learning the product, speaking to customers, they both has to happen at the same time. So if I put them together, then that gives me a nice end product of right. I know what the customer want. I know what our product does now. So I know, or I can at least draw a picture of where we want to head towards in the future. And it's a challenging role. It's not easy to know those things, but I know we'll get there at some point. And I think that's what makes me excited about it every morning.